your games against Morphling always look like this, you've come to the right place. In this video, I show you which heroes you need to pick, backed up by statistical data, I show you which items you need to buy, and I show you which strategies work against Morphling. Starting with the counter picks. One of the best counter picks against Morphling is AA. AA has a 53.58% win rate against Morphling right now, and that's because the ultimate prevents Morphling from healing up with a strength morph. Also, the W increases the magic damage morph receives, which helps you to burst him from 100 to 0. Having AA in your team is a global threat to Morphling, especially if you have heroes like Nyx or Lion, which can burst Morphling down after he receives the ultimate damage. Next up we have X. X, often played as an offlane, is not that good against Morphling on lane. But getting to the mid game, especially when you get your Blade Mail and your Dagger, you can solo kill Morphling. If you get him in your call, the damage he receives just melts him. Unfortunately, Morphling can still use his strength morph when he has a shard in your call, but oftentimes it isn't enough to save him. Especially in the late team fights, if you get any follow-up, Morphling just dies in your call. Overall, X has a 52.35% win rate against Morphling right now, and it's really good to have a X on your team if you're playing against Morphling. Next up is Nyx. Nyx is one of my favorite picks against Morphling. Although Nyx only has a pick rate of 4.94%, it's one of the strongest heroes against Morphling. Most players underestimate his ultimate mana burn stun combination against low HP heroes like Morphling, especially when you get your Dagon. Morphling isn't anywhere safe on the map without sentries, and you can solo kill him every time. Overall, Nyx has a 52.2% win rate against Morphling. Morphling won't be able to farm anywhere safe on the map, especially if he's pushing waves. Nyx will be able to get 2 or 3 pickoffs in the entire game against Morphling, which slows down Morphling's farm speed and makes him half as strong. These were my top 3 hero picks against Morphling. There are other very strong heroes against Morphling, like Lion or like Shadow Shaman, especially if you have a hero with a Blink Dagger that can initiate and stun him and even burst him down a little bit. It should be enough against Morphling. Especially heroes with Hex, like Lion or Shadow Shaman, work against the HP morph. Morphling can't morph his HP up against Hexes even when he has a shard. So you want heroes that can initiate and stun him, and then you need to burst him down. In the next section of this guide, we're talking about the items you need to counter Morphling. One of the most important items is Spirit Vessel. Spirit Vessel reduces his strength morph by up to 70%. It also deals 4% damage of the current health per second and also plus an additional 25 damage per second. If you get the Vessel early, Morphling won't be able to do much. In the mid to late game, Morphling will have the Manta and he can dispel the debuff. It's very important that you reapply the debuff from Spirit Vessel all the time. If you see him dispelling the debuff, just get another one on him. In teamfights, he won't be able to strength morph up and you can kill him in the teamfights. Next up we have Blink Dagger. Blink Dagger is very important against Morphling to have good initiate on him. Especially on heroes like Lion, X or Rasta, you can disable him until your team arrives and then you can burst him down. Then we have Orchids. Orchids prevents him from using his strength morph and you need it fast, because if he uses Manta, he just dispels the debuff. In the late game, it's also important to have a Hex in your team. If you Hex Morphling, he won't be able to morph strength, even with his shard, which gives you the time to use your spells on him so he can't do anything in the teamfights. Next up, we're talking about the general strategies you need to follow to win against Morphling.
Did you ever feel like that your early game harass against Morphling isn't working? I'll show you why. If Morphling morphs his HP down and eats a tango, he got a low max HP pool. Then the tango will regenerate him to full HP and he's just gonna morph his, because how gaining attributes in Dota works. He's just gonna have max HP with the new attributes he just combined. That's why you can't just harass Morphling in the early game, you need to kill him at once. Don't spend too much resources to harass him. He's just gonna out-heal you on the lane. If you go on him, you need to make sure you're killing him.
The next tip is, is to have a good initiate on Morphling. If you have a good initiate on Morphling and control them at the beginning of the team fight, you will win the team fight. If you have heroes like X or like a Rasta that can hex him before the team fight and you can initiate on him, the enemy team needs to spend a lot of resources to save the Morphling and you can win the team fight. The next strategy you need to follow is high burst damage. High burst damage like Lion ult, Quap ult, Dagons or Nyx just kill Morphling before the team fight even begins. If he's morphed too high in agility, you can always burst this hero down. Especially in lower MMR brackets, the Morphling players won't know how much HP they need for which kind of specific burst, so use that to your advantage. Pick high burst damage heroes, and you're able to burst him down without him morphing up. So to sum up the tips I gave you in this guide, you need to pick the right heroes, you need to itemize against Morphling, you need to follow one or two strategies I showed you in this video, and you will have more win rate against Morphling players. If you learned something from this guide, like my video. If you want to have more guides and more Dota specific videos, subscribe to my channel. Goodbye.